There is only one man in human history that is capable of doing what Stephen Curry just did in the last 2 games of the Olympics. Obviously that man is Steph Curry, because the absolute show he just put on in the 2 biggest games of the 2024 Olympics will be remembered for a very, very long time, with Steph averaging 30 points on 61% from the field and 63% from 3, making 17 of 27 threes in those 2 games. He made 1 less 3 than the entire French team during the final. And a lot of people are using these performances to discuss where Steph ranks as an all-time player, which is fine, but these performances should tell the world something else. Steph Curry might be 36 years old, but he's far from finished. And whatever your opinion of the Golden State Warriors is, whilst he's still on that roster, you can't take them lightly. Because when there's a player so good that you have to double team him whilst Kevin Durant and LeBron James are on the floor at the same time, how am I supposed to not take the team he plays for in the NBA seriously? And we have to talk about what he just did at the Olympics, because I've already made a video talking about Team USA's win and Steph Curry as a whole, but when you do something like this, well, you deserve your own video. And the reason France decided to double Steph on the last USA possession of the game was because he had hit 3 3-pointers in 2 minutes prior to then. And it was just a reminder to everyone watching that you can play really, really hard and really well for 37 minutes, like France did, keeping it to 3 points with 3 minutes remaining. But when Steph goes nuclear and hits 4 3-pointers in the last 3 minutes of that game, all of your hard work is for nothing. Do you know how absolutely insane that is though? If he maintained that pace of shooting over an entire NBA quarter, that would be 16 3-pointers. Obviously that would never happen, but it's honestly surprising we haven't seen Steph have a quarter in which he's made 10 threes or something ridiculous. But then you remember when he gets hot, teams do everything to get the ball out of his hands, even when he's on the same team as LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So you can only imagine the defense he sees on a team with just regular NBA players. And he's going back to a team with regular NBA players. A team who a lot of people don't think have any chance at being a threat at winning anything this year. And whilst I don't think they're championship favorites by any stretch, I can't write off a team with Stephen Curry. And when you look at last season, which I think many people would consider one of the worst seasons of Steph's career, he still averaged 26 points and 5 assists per game, finished 3rd team All-NBA, and shot 41% from 3 on nearly 12 attempts a game. That's a bad season for Steph Curry, and I'm sure he thinks of it as that more than any of us. So you know for a fact, he's entering this season with that extra boost from the Olympics, but also to prove that he's far from washed. Because you know for a fact, Steph has seen the talk about guys like Luka, Shea, even Jalen Brunson all overtaking him, and he's going to use that as motivation. And when you think about just how good Steph could be over the course of this upcoming season, it's hard not to think about what he did just over a year ago, averaging just under 30 points, 6 assists, and 6 boards a game on ridiculous efficiency during the regular season, before then going into the playoffs and putting up 30 points and 6 assists per game, shooting a bit lower from 3 than we're accustomed to, but just putting the team on his back game after game after game, with no better example of that than Game 7 against the Sacramento Kings. In a back and forth series in which the Kings looked like the better overall team, it was up to Steph Curry to deliver a classic Steph Curry performance in Sacramento for Game 7, and a classic performance he delivered.
Curry against Murray, step back, 3-pointers up, it's good. Curry pulls back, gets some space, knocks down the 3. Curry hanging on to that pivot foot. Scoop layup is up. It's good. And a foul. Oh, a circus shot from Steph Curry.
And just some of the things he was doing, well, we aren't surprised by, but it's still unguardable a year later. Look at him on this play, bring the ball up. Draymond sets the initial screen, he gives it up to GP2 before getting the handoff, and look at the blow-by on Lyles before just a beautiful underhand finish. And it's that touch around the rim on floaters and layups that will always be the most underrated part of his game. Everyone focuses on his shooting, but he's also one of the greatest ball handlers and finishers in NBA history. That's not even an opinion. The numbers back it up as well. Just look at him here with Keegan Murray out top, blowing past him before then having the finesse to finish it off the glass. And well, I told you about his finishing, how about his handle on this play? He gets the switch onto Lyles, and watch him just lure him in before crossing him over and then the Euro step past De'Aaron Fox for the finish. We have nothing to suggest Steph isn't still capable of performances like this. The only question is whether he can have a supporting cast to hold up for an entire season. And there's one player on that supporting cast in particular who has the potential to make this Warriors team legit. That is Draymond Green. Yes, I just said Draymond Green. And before you laugh at me and tell me he's a psycho who only averages a triple single, sure, I get that. But the chemistry these two guys have is enough to make any team elite given the right circumstances. And some people might look at the Warriors finishing 10th last year and laugh at me saying that. That is slightly misleading, given the fact they won 46 games, which was 4 games less than the Mavericks, who made the finals. But more importantly, when both Steph Curry and Draymond Green shared the floor together, the Dubs were an elite offense and one of the best teams in the league, which was quite frankly terrible compared to the seasons before in which those two have been on the floor together. Now obviously the biggest question mark is if Draymond cannot be a full-on psycho for an entire season and keep himself from getting suspended, but don't let that distract you from just how good he is as a basketball player, because he remains one of the best defenders in the league, and more importantly, it's the chemistry between these two that unlocks both of their games in a way that we've rarely seen in NBA history. Whether it's Steph giving the ball up to Dre, getting it back and then firing from 3, whether it's Draymond dropping dimes to Steph moving off the ball, or the most common and devastating play we've seen for years, which is the pick and roll, in which Steph draws 2 defenders and allows Draymond to utilize his elite playmaking in 4-on-3 situations. Just like this play, where Dre slips the screen, both Pels defenders stay attached, and once he has the ball in this spot, he finds Pod's cutting baseline for the smart finish. Or in this play where Dre sets the screen, and look at Steph's ability to take that extra dribble left, drawing Lyles out before threading the pass, allowing Dre to then make the dime to a cutting Moody. I know everyone loves to make fun of Draymond Green, and he deserves a lot of that, but don't be blinded by the numbers or some of the craziness. He's still incredibly good, and when both of these guys are healthy and playing together, the Warriors have been incredibly good as well. Regardless of all of that, just another season of watching Steph Curry play basketball is going to be fun to watch. But with that being said, feel free to check out that video, subscribe if you want, it's free, dropping a like would be cool, but most importantly, thanks for watching and have a very great day.